Welcome everybody to this afternoon's work session of Monday, October 2nd, 2023. I've been losing my voice a little, so I'm going to try to keep it moving as quickly as I can. Try to get out as much voice as I can. Has nothing to do with the Bills game, though. I was not there. I have a few things that I just want to talk through a little bit with the board. So you have copies of the budget, proposed budget. There are some items there that we can talk about. I think I gave you a heads up about a couple of them. For instance, I moved the annual purchasing of police vehicles and public works or highway vehicles into the budget. We've been traditionally, or since before me, we've been reoccurring borrowing for those. Police vehicles especially are like a 3-year borrowing. So we're doing a 3-year borrowing at like $255,000 annually. And the dilemma you get into is in a low interest rate year that might be okay, but now that the Fed's persistently driven up interest rates, some of those things are really reoccurring expense. Even though they're capital, we are buying assets. So I pulled those into the budget. Those are sitting there right now. There's some other stuff to be aware of. Last year, obviously, we made do. We were understaffed police-wise. We had a lot of retirements. We had a hard time hiring. I think we all remember we got to the point where we hired 17 officers in one evening. It was like some kind of record. We are adding an officer position to the police this year. We don't know how many of the 17 are going to make it through academy yet. So that's a little bit of a hedge right now. We are adding that position. We do have, we saw growth, obviously, in payroll, personnel services. I mentioned police and vehicles and police vehicles and highway vehicles. We also have had growth in debt, right? We did some big projects like streetlights and chiller replacements, and we bought a park. So there's some purchases there. The big things to kind of look for is we're projecting about $1 million increase in sales tax revenue, which is great. It offsets about $1 million decrease in mortgage tax revenue due to the interest rates kind of where they are, or at least that's our projected. We think that that number resets. Hopefully it's conservative. We did see $1.2 million. We're projecting $1.2 million in interest earnings. So interest earnings continue to grow in the right direction for us. Again, attributable to interest rates. You're going to see less appropriation from the general fund. Last year we had a $6 million surplus we were able to appropriate in the general fund. This year we have $600,000 to appropriate in the general fund. And then the other thing that I wanted just to kind of put on your radars as you're looking through those budgets is that, while we had debt increase due to big projects, we are expecting to see savings in utilities because of the street lighting project primarily. So that's $2 million to the good. In terms of savings adjusted for the lighting districts, while we did also put in evergreen, so there's certainly some charge outs to lighting as well. So there's a lot to look at, and we'll be working through October on some of those issues, and we'll go from there. On the 16th, I'm expecting to do a PowerPoint and a full presentation on that in the CIP. We've got a couple issues on tonight's board meeting to talk through. The first is the Resolution 802. It's the North French Road bicentennial comp plan amendment. I don't know who's doing that presentation. Is that, do you know? Is it Ari? Ari, okay. All right, and then 775 is special use permit for the solar system. Now, I got something updated today, apparently, in my email. I won't pretend to be up to date on my email, so I don't know exactly where this one's going. I would suspect that if the petitioner is here, we'll let them address the comments, take any additional comments, and then see about what we want to do moving forward. I haven't read the responses yet myself.
I thought we were adjourning it
Yeah.
until,
I thought we were adjourning it too, and then, but I guess I didn't do it the same way that we did the other ones. I thought we were just adjourning it and holding it until there was some kind of substance coming back to us.
well, there were some things that were brought up that just,
There's some things, yeah.
that just don't go with solar projects.
I agree with that, but there were a couple of other items on there that,
That needed to be addressed, and I
Right.
did not get a chance to read the email.
And there is also a meeting scheduled later this month, so you should
okay.
go ahead with that.
So,
Of the-
so we're gonna hold it because they did schedule the public meeting that we asked for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
So
I
we'll-
knew.
So we'll
Yeah.
schedule it, we'll hold this until after the resident meeting.
right.
Okay,
That's what I
All right.
think.
that's what, I thought we weren't talking about
Yeah,
it
so we'll-
tonight.
So then we can just adjourn it tonight. I'm okay with that.
That was what I thought we were doing.
All right.
So will you let them present anything else, or you're just
No,
gonna?
I'll just adjourn it until after the,
Okay. Okay,
I don't think they came in.
okay,
I'm just gonna give the clerk a copy of that email for the record.
Yeah, that's fine, and I guess I will read mine between the two. I just was in other meetings today.
Yeah, it just came in this morning, so. All right, so then, under the development review actions, we've got the seeker determination on 772 North Forest, 385 Maple, 391 Maple. So, I don't know if this is, if anybody has any questions on this. Okay. So, we've been through a lot. This is the start of the supplement, right? So it's just a beginning point or a beginning piece. So it's under development review actions, Marty. I don't know if that qualifies for consent or if that's something we should vote on.
We've taken the approach that that should be done at 7 in the past, so I think it should,
We'll just vote.
we'll just vote at 7.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that, unless anybody has any issues. Again, it's a positive declaration. We're just moving forward with the PUD and the sort of initial portion of the supplemental EIS. Okay, so under our resolutions tonight, I've got the resolution 804, which is the elected official salaries for 2024. I did want to have a conversation in executive session about this one. I don't know if that's something that the town board is interested in, or if everybody says we're okay with it as is, we could just vote on it via consent.
I do have a couple questions.
Okay. So we'll vote on that tonight. Resolution 805 is scheduling a public hearing on proposed local law for 2024 budget exceeding the tax cap levy. This is just to set a public hearing. Any issues with setting that public hearing? Any reason to exclude it from consent? Okay. Resolution 806 is an appointment to the Senior Center Advisory Board.
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor.
Thank you, Supervisor Culpa. So this is to appoint Gary Henry to the Senior Services Advisory Board for a term that would expire on December 31st, 2025. He comes highly recommended from Melissa Abel, our Senior Center Director.
Okay. Any reason to withhold that from consent? Resolution 807 is the Board of Assessment Review reappointment, also Deputy Supervisor Buckeye.
Yes, thank you, Supervisor Culpa. This would be regarding Mr. William Hessler. He has been serving as a temporary member of the Board of Assessment Review, but with the recommendation of Emily Murphy, our town assessor, she would like to see him serving as a permanent member of the Board of Assessment Review for a 5-year term that extends from October 1st, 2023 to December 30th, 2028, effective immediately.
All right, any questions about that? Any reason to withhold it from consent?
Thank you.
Resolution 808, Councilmember Zucala's appointment to the Glen Park Joint Board.
Yes, very quickly. The Glen Park Joint Board meets the first Tuesday of every month. The Glen Park Joint Board consists of 9 members, 5 appointed by the Williamsburg Village Board, 4 by the Amherst Town Board, each member serving 3-year terms to conclude on June 30th of the designated year. Right now, we have Christina Fleckinger has kindly expressed an interest in serving, and we resolved that we appoint Christina Fleckinger to serve her first full term to expire June 30th of 2026.
Okay, anybody have any issues with that? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 809 is the termination of drainage easements 6842 to 6846 Main Street. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 810 is an attorney engagement and contingency fee agreement, CRS 4331. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 811 is a 2024 software maintenance agreement for fire police recording equipment, CRS 4308. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 812 is Gettsville Fire Authority to provide public EMS. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 813 is budget transfers and amendments. Any questions regarding those? Any reason to withhold them from consent? Resolution 814 is 2024 budget amendment for special districts. Any questions regarding the budget amendments for special districts? Any reason to withhold those from consent? So those are some items that came up during the conversation about the general fund that worked in favor of the direction. Obviously, a small step, but they did change what I put forward in 24 already. Resolution 815 is an amendment award for number 2023032 Amherst Police and Central Alarm Sprinkler System Improvements, CRS 4306. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 816 is an amendment to the town-wide elevator maintenance and repair contract, CRS 4313. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 817 is an award of RFP 202305 CDBG lead hazard mold abatement, mold asbestos and radon testing services, CRS 4313. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 818 is a change order number 1 and final quantity adjustment for 716 Site Contracting Incorporated Red Oak Water Line Replacement, Town of Amherst, project number 2020.017 CRS 4329. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 819 is a contract extension for city-owned landscape supply, CRS 4322. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 820 is to authorize the supervisor to sign a piggyback on American Rock Salt Company LLC, CRS 4333. Any questions regarding that resolution? Any reason to withhold that from consent? Resolution 821 is maternity leave without pay, economic development. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 822 is public safety dispatcher central fire alarm. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 823 is program coordinator senior services / senior services. Any questions regarding the resolution? Is that written correctly?
Yes, Supervisor, it's the actual job title, is Program Coordinator for Senior Services in
Services Department.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Any questions regarding the appointment? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 824, Senior Fire Inspector for the Building Department. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 825 is the Eastern Vision Service Plan IPA Incorporated DBA VSP Vision Care, CRS 4288. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 826 is to authorize an extension to Sourcewell contract 081419 CDW CRS 4314. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 827 is to authorize an extension to Sourcewell contract 081419 SHI CRS 4315. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 828 is to authorize town supervisor to enter into a contract for fair housing counseling services with Housing Opportunities Made Equal Home, CRS 4311. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 829 is to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement for a provision of weatherization services, CRS 4312. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 830 is to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with Belmont Housing Resources, Western New York, for housing counseling services, CRS 4326. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 831 is to authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with the Buffalo Urban League for a provision of predatory lending counseling services, CRS 4327. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 832 is to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with the Family Justice Center, FJC, for staffing, CRS 4330. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 833 is a travel and training request, security and law enforcement seminar. Any questions regarding the training request? Any reason to withhold that from consent? Resolution 834 is an amendment of Resolution 2023695, InfoQuest Computer Solutions Incorporated, CRS 4227, APD Personnel Training and Training Resource Database. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold that from consent? Resolution 835 is the Tabware software for maintenance and support renewal Asset Point LLC, CRS 4044. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 836 is UB bike path closure. Any questions regarding that resolution? Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 837 is the 2023 to 2024 Youth Development Program Agreement, CRS 4321. Any questions regarding the agreement? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 838 is the child daycare services agreement, CRS 4328. Any questions regarding that resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 839 is a service agreement for DFC grant, CRS 4334. Any questions regarding the resolution? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Resolution 840 is an emergency purchase request. Any questions regarding that? So I will say it because I did get a call from the media about this one today. Yes, we leak R22 from time to time. No, the ice in the North Town Center did not melt. We have playable surfaces. We are replacing the chiller that is most vulnerable to those leaks. That was part of our capital projects that we funded this year, and moving forward, we'll be changing that out to compressed CO2. So I do want to just be on the record as having mentioned that. That said, any questions regarding the emergency purchase? Any reason to withhold it from consent? Okay. Communications 1116 is the summons a complaint. Kelly Rados and Ryan M. Conrad, James Caputi, Tim Wilson, and Officer Schaufstretter individually and their official capacity as employees of the Town of Amherst Police Department. I'm going to receive this and I would recommend we receive this, refer to the town attorney. Any reason not to do that via consent? Okay, the next item is Communication 117. Is the summons and complaint for Danielle M. Hughes, aka Danielle Sealer, versus the Town of Amherst et al. Again, I recommend we receive this, refer to the town attorney. Any reason not to do that via consent? Next, we have a summons and complaint, Communication 118, Wells Fargo Bank N.A. versus Town of Amherst et al. Again, I would recommend we receive this, refer to the town attorney. Any reason not to do that via consent? And finally, Communication 119 is a complaint and jury demand for Nellie Brown and Gerard Fonte versus the Town of Amherst et al. I'll recommend we receive this and refer it to the town attorney as well. Any reason not to do that via consent? Okay, we have a couple of items that we need to adjourn to executive session on. First is a personnel matter based in past litigation. I'm going to ask police chief and our counsel, and then Bob to also stick around for that one if it's okay. We have a couple of litigation matters to update everybody on. And lastly, personnel matter regarding a salary of a specific or salaries of specific individuals. I'm going to motion to adjourn to executive session at this time.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.